All right. So welcome everybody to the ShovelHed podcast. Today is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. And my guest today is the guy that takes care of everyone in the band's fucking guitars, Brian Hill from Bubble Up's Guitar Works. His shop is down in Stuart, Florida, which is about 45 minutes from me in Vero Beach, but he's the guy we all go to. All the guys that are out really touring, the guys from Kiss Alive use him. Eric, myself, we use him. The guys from Stella's Basement use him. The guys from Panama, Steve Austin, uses him. It's pretty much an endless list of guys. Right? Jonathan Chantos from Eat Crow takes his gear to you.
Yeah, we got Aerosmith.
In
the Light of Led Zeppelin. Glenda Ronstadt tribute, Get Closer.
Okay.
All the way out of Jacksonville.
No shit.
That's home though.
I have not seen her yet though. I haven't seen that.
She's just doing shows here and there. It's not a big touring thing anymore. It's Deborah Ryder. She used to be one of the Hunkettes.
Okay.
In the Skinner tribute day.
Oh, okay.
And she's still doing her own thing. She's doing good. I think she does a great Glenda Ronstadt.
Does she? Yeah. Ronstadt's not
great band. I mean, yeah, she got the whole band, the whole package. So
yeah. What I want to talk a lot about your work as a tech and because I think it's an aspect that I don't ever get to talk to somebody at length about what it is that goes into actually taking somebody else's instrument and giving it a full look over to decide like everything and anything that needs to be repaired or looked at or fixed or, I've spent my entire life, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys, I'm sure that there are times in which we've all brought our instruments probably to the local instrument shop or the national instrument store chain because they advertised, whatever, a $75 setup or a $99 setup or something like that, where you brought it in, you stand there, you wait a half an hour, 45 minutes, you go home with a guitar, and then you get home and realize that the guitar wasn't actually, all they did was kind of change the strings and either loosen or tighten the truss knot.
Over tighten the truss knot. You want a lower action? Here we go.
And the first time I brought my Les Paul to you, the headstock was broken and I wasn't ready to have the headstock repaired yet. But dude, I never got back from a guitar guy such a detailed analysis, soup to like fucking everything, soup to nuts. Every fret was described as to what it might need or didn't need. All the cleaning was, listed as what needed to be done. All the
a lot of my clients chalk it up to a report from NASA.
Yeah, it is. It is
on their instrument, but
it's valuable to somebody who doesn't know.
Well,
I don't know, like a mechanic. I don't know
that whole thing because, like you just said, there's 1,000 guys doing this. Oops. There's 1,000 guys doing this out of their house,
right,
or out of some other business, and it's all the same. It's become the same. I grew up working in a music store in Jacksonville, and there was always a guy in the back that, and this is before, Guitar Center, it's way before the big box stores, right, and all of that. So you had small mom and pops music stores that sold everything.
Everything, yeah.
I mean, guitars, amps, pedals, cables, drum kits, keyboards, cymbals, drum heads.
Yeah, it was the mom and pop shop with everything.
It was a small
sheet music.
It was books, a small version of what the big box stores. I hate naming them even.
Yeah, no, I know. Don't give them the extra.
So, but this guy ran his business that if you bought an instrument in his store, it went back to Gary Smalley. And Gary professionally set up your instrument. So you came back like a day later.
Right.
You know, to actually claim
what you purchased. Sure. Yeah.
But when you got it back, it was stage ready. It was perfect.
Right.
There was no buzz. There was a great action. It sounded great. The pickup heights were set. The tuners worked all fine. Everything was perfect. And he built his business on that. So when this all came around for me, I had that same mindset because I'd never been a business owner. I've always worked for somebody, always gained a paycheck, you know, whether I'm an independent contractor or actually on the clock.
Right.
I knew I had to do something different. Otherwise, I was just one of the rest. So I started that detailed analysis and just the response. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Are you serious? And, you know,
I brought
gotta
my
have all
fucking
this done
car to mechanics that don't give a as detailed list of issues.
Exactly.
As you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in order for me to present you with my work, I don't want anybody coming back going, I'm not happy.
Right.
And that's the only way I could think at the time to solve that issue is to cover every friggin' base. And the response, like I told you earlier, if you'd have told me 5 years ago, almost 6 now, that I'd own the busiest repair shop on the Treasure Coast of Florida, I'd laugh my ass off at you because that was not the plan. It was not what, you know, I was just trying to get by in COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to get back out on the road, back on a tour bus, doing my thing.
COVID fucked a lot of shit for a lot of people.
It changed a lot of lives in some good ways. It changed a lot of lives in a lot of
bad ways. Yeah.
You know. But so I learned that, and it's developed. I developed it. It used to be a pretty short 1-page C-spot run thing, and now it's developed, and it all depends what all's there.
Yeah.
I mean, you come in. I get calls all the time. You know, hey, I've been playing my guitar for 4 years. I've never had it professionally looked at. I've heard I need a setup. Okay. Well, that may be true. That may be true that that's all you need is a setup. But a good setup is contingent on so many other things. What's your frets doing? What's the fretboard itself doing? What's your nut happening? What's happening at the nut? What's happening at the bridge? How old is the guitar? Are we talking a vintage 60s, 50s, 70s even? And it's never been, is your bridge okay?
Yeah.
You got a Gibson Les Paul? I guarantee you the bridge is probably collapsed.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. And all of that's got to be looked at because I can't just say, yeah, I can set it up for, 75, 99, 105 out the door. What's your truss rod doing? When's the last time the truss rod was even adjusted?
Yeah. Now, for those of you folks that are not aware, that are not musicians or guitar players, or I'll try to break a little bit of that down for you. So, behind this cover here, on the guitar is what's called a truss rod. There's a nut down here, and the truss rod, which is a metal rod that's kind of shaped hexagonally or sometimes or roundish, that goes the entire length of the fretboard. And it's there to keep it straight, because what ends up happening is, especially in Florida's fucking weather and heat, is that the board here, the fretboard here, will warp. It has a tendency to either bow one way or the other. And the truss rod, tightening it or not tightening it, becomes one of those things that it's a very simple process to do completely incorrectly. So
you said that right.
It's the truth. I mean, you take the truss rod cover off, and it's just there. And let
me elaborate.
You say to yourself, "Oh, I could do that."
So, well, do you know what kind of truss rod you got?
I have a fucking clue.
Okay.
That's part of the problem.
There's a couple different types of truss rods. You have, a regular truss rod that turns lefty loosey, righty tighty, and the truss rod either way, whichever one it is designed to counteract the string pull and movement of the woods. Right. Woods are going to move, especially here in Florida, a couple times a year,
right? Depending
on weather, humidity, what's going on.
All of that, yeah.
We get into dry season, woods contract, next move. We get into wet season, the woods expand, next move. You decide you want to change string gauge from 942 and drop down to a half a step down, and now you want 5210s.
Right.
All of that pull is exerted on the neck, needs to be responded to with that truss rod.
Same with the tuning.
So you got bi truss rods. You turn it one way, it convexes. You turn it the other, it concaves. So you need to know kind of what kind of truss rod you got. You got all different. You got attachments up here. You got attachments down here. Either way, there's an anchor point at one end and an adjustment nut of some sort on the other. What size is that tool?
Right.
There's 4 or 5 different sizes, 4 or 5 different types. Allen keys to, regular little wrenches that are made, Gibson truss rod wrench, Fender truss rod wrench.
Yeah, it's not like a universal truss rod.
No.
Every manufacturer uses what they felt.
And in the end, the user needs to know, because that truss rod setting dictates what happens at the bridge and what happens up here at the nut. Any deviation of that is going to affect those two settings.
Right.
So if you tighten up, action lowers. You loosen out, action raises.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be set first in any good setup. Otherwise, you're going to chase a rabbit down.
Yeah, because every time you change, all right. So if you got to readjust the nut. As soon as you're done readjusting the nut, you got to go back and readjust the truss rod again.
You're back and forth. So it's all contingent on that relief setting.
You want to know what did it for me to say, just play the fucking thing and drop it off somewhere to get it fixed? Was the first guitar, the second guitar I owned had a Kaler locking tremolo on it. And I said to myself one day, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure out how to get the action lower. And so, of course, I take the back off, and on a tremolo system, there's usually three springs set up in there that help it bounce back and forth. That's a little wah-wah pedal you hear us, wah-wah thing you hear us talking about. Dude, I fucked the guitar up so bad because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And I grew up in this little town in Texas, and the only music store that we had in the town was a pawn shop, and the guy that did any kind of work or anything like that was not a real musician. Yeah, he was a pawn shop owner. I was like, oh, I got a screw that'll fit here, So that was my lesson to, there's way more to a guitar than sitting down and plugging it in and playing it.
Yeah, there's a little bit. Over the years, you're learning
the differences between the single coil pickups and humbucker pickups and lipstick pickups and all these things.
Nowadays, I mean, we're even beyond that.
Oh, we're way beyond
that. Now we're injecting 18 volts into this and 9 volts into that. And,
that's something I never did. I never used like the EMGs or any battery operated.
Never got into active, huh?
No, because it was just
too hot.
Too many fucking 9-volt batteries back in the day. Like back in the day, I didn't have a good power supply for the Boss pedals, so everything had a 9-volt in it, and this is back when Radio Shack was even still around, and I had to have like my plan with their battery club and shit, so I could get free batteries when I buy batteries, and it was because it always, when you're a younger guy gigging and shit, you're always forgetting to take the inputs out of the pedal. So by the time you go to use the pedal again, it's fucking dead, and have
you checked your battery?
Yeah. And occasionally, there'll be like Jonathan uses active pickups.
Yeah.
And a couple of Eric's basses have actives. Not many, but every once in a while there'll be some issue where the fucking bass drops out and everyone will be turned to somebody and be like, check the fucking battery.
First thing you gotta look for.
Yeah. So for me,
so having said that, if you have battery powered equipment, learn to read a voltmeter.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, but it's like the shit today.
I mean, shit, they even got battery testers now. You just put it in there, slide it, and yeah, it's
right.
Good.
Yeah, but everything now today that's coming out of China is fucking Bluetooth.
Yeah,
like Bluetooth everything. There's Bluetooth wireless microphone adapters, Bluetooth. Like all I'm thinking is if did you ever see that movie? There's a movie called iBoy or something like that. It's some kid in that can see cell phone data, and it makes me think about if we could actually sit down and see
all the shit,
all the Bluetooth connections and fucking Wi-Fi connections and all the shit that we
superhighway, dude.
We walk through on a daily basis. Like, we joke about it. The cell phone's going to cause cancer and all that, but we're not really going to know for another 50 fucking years.
Yeah. Exactly.
As it is, we got everyone's got some fucked up thing going on with their thumbs, and there's a new injury associated towards having your neck down, and constantly.
And everybody's walking around like this all the time.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So you technology has gotten us to this point now where I can't keep up with shit on a daily basis. I can't. The last technological guitar innovation that I saw was a fucking Steinberger, like a headless,
I love those guitars, actually. Those were great guitars.
Or when Gibson came out with the self-tuning.
That was one of the first basses I ever tested.
Steinberger?
It was a Steinberger 4-string bass up in Jacksonville. And it was back in that time, it was like that was the first headless thing that anybody in the rock business was using, you know? And it looked different.
It looked cool.
Looked
like something I think I would have a really hard time adjusting myself to.
Oh, it was light as a feather because it wasn't neck heavy.
Right.
And, it sounded great. And no matter what you were playing through back then.
Well, what happened to Steinbrenner? Like Hoffman, I think, bought them, right? Wasn't that
I forget the guy. Was it George
Stein?
Yeah.
No, that's the Yankees guy, right? George Steinbrenner.
I forget his name, but he was New York based, small guy. I really don't know the answer to that question. What happened to him? I mean, they're still out there.
Yeah.
The company's not.
Not. Well, they were.
But over the years, I've had a couple Steinberger instruments still come in, but I can't find parts for them.
I'm sure. It's like a DeLorean.
Obsolete unless you're willing to buy a whole nother rig from somebody to ride.
It's like the Parker Fly was another one of those.
That was another one, yeah.
For a couple of years, they were all over the place. And then they just kind of vanished off.
Yeah, and the Parker Fly is a great playing guitar, but the electronics are a whole different. It's just insane.
Was it? Yeah.
I'm a Fishman dealer.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know the Parker Fly guts. We're all Fishman built.
Oh.
Fishman is in just about every damn thing in the instrument market. And it might not be listed as Fishman.
Right.
But you pull those little control boards out and you see Fishman. It's all made by
Fishman. They must have the,
Fender uses Fishman, the Acoustasonic series. That's all Fishman shit.
Right.
Yeah. You're supposed to go to a Fender authorized retail center or repair center and I'm not none of those.
Right.
I don't need.
You
that.
Can't subscribe to that because there's proximity clauses and all this other bullshit that gets involved.
It's bullshit, is what it is.
Like, I gotta pay you.
I'm gonna pay you. $1,000 a year to list my website on your website,
right?
And then you're gonna send me business, buddy. I got plenty of business.
Yeah,
I'm good. But yeah, Fishman's in everything. And getting back to the Steinbergers, I mean. People just got away from them.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wanted to go
Vito
back
Barata.
to the old Fender basses. Fender basses are the big thing.
Fender bass, big.
And then Spectre came out. And Spectre just blew the fucking market away.
And Eric loves his.
And Eric loves this.
Loves his Spectre.
And Autumn Martini's the same way. She's a Spectre endorsed artist.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I mean, top of the line fit.
It's not only it's you know, in every situation that he's used a couple of different amp. He's got an amp simulator that he uses, and of course his Mesa Boogie amps, and no matter what, always sounds fucking good.
Yeah,
the Spectres always sound fucking good, and the shape is cool. Like it's not a,
you know, it's a Spectre.
You know, it's a Spectre. Yeah, the minute
it's kind of like a Les Paul. You know, it's a Les Paul.
But
you know, it's a Strat.
Fucking
It's a
Fender
Spectre bass.
P bass. You know, or a jazz.
What
bass.
it's the same thing.
Very,
jazz and P, right?
Very, very identifiable.
And then Rickenbach.
Yeah, actually,
Rick, and I just did that little thing on his new Rick,
yeah.
and he's all excited about that all of a sudden. So.
Every fucking gig, he's got a new bass. Like he buys and sells and buys and sells and buys and sells. Every gig, there's something new that pops out.
I probably worked on everything he sold.
I'm sure. You know, it's kind of a sickness, the whole guitar collecting, and it really,
I got clients.
Over the course of my 54 fucking years.
How many guitars do you own?
Right now, I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the bedroom, I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 3 acoustics. 13, 14, 15. I'm up to 15.
I've got clients that don't know how many guitars they own.
I had 40.
You got to ask my tech. He knows.
It's and the thing too is that I run through periods of having a favorite. Like this one is my favorite this week, and then the Les Paul is my favorite
flavor of the week.
Next week. Yeah, it really is. The one I don't ever go back to anymore are my Strats, just because every time I play a Strat, I can only do one of two things: blues or funk. Like. It's the feel.
You can't rock on a Strat?
Not like I can on a Les Paul.
Okay.
I get a completely different tonal feeling out of my fingers when
that's where it all starts.
When I'm playing a Strat neck as opposed to like a Les Paul neck.
Well, we were just discussing this. So you like the baseball?
I like the baseball bat. I do. My very first guitar was an Area Pro 2 ZZ Custom. Which was the
made in Japan?
Yeah, the copy of the Gibson Explorer, and it was mimicked from a BC Rich. I mean, it had a really thick, fat fretboard, and that's what I learned to play on. And then I went from that to a BC Rich Ironbird because Paul Stanley had one, and I was like, cool shaped, weird shit was in at the time.
Paul Stanley's got one. I gotta have
it. And that guitar had an equally as thick neck. And then I many years later, I got into. I had those two guitars for the longest time, and then I got into blues. And I, at one point, had 9 Strats of various styles and types. And I had the Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat. I had a beautiful Tex-Mex that had a Delta Tone pickups in it, which I thought were the shit on the Strat. If you like that thick,
that was a one of a kind
sound,
yeah.
It was a beautiful fucking guitar. But at that period of time in my life, I was deep into, I got out of metal. Metal became so repetitive and rock was, weird. And I got into blues because I skipped that whole part of music listening during the 80s.
In the original days. You missed that whole part.
I missed all of that. So
you went back and revisited.
Yeah. And then I went into blues and I liked the rocker. The more rock blues, like the Stevie Ray Vaughans and the Johnny Langs and the more modern-y blues in the 90s. I dug that shit a lot. And then I went back and I was listening to, old Chick and old fucking Brothers Johnson and old funk, like super funk. And then, and for some fucking reason, if I have a Strat on, I am required to have a wah-wah pedal, and I need to play
I'm required
some fucking old funk music. And then when I'm holding a Les Paul, it's like I read an article a couple of weeks ago, and I don't even remember who I think it might have been Mark Knopfler talking about how he never ever wanted to be 100% comfortable with any single guitar, because part of the experience of being a guitar player is having to wrestle with the guitar. And it made a lot of sense.
It does.
To a certain point, is that there is a wrestle that goes on.
Well, you don't want to ever cease to learn something new.
Right.
And different guitars require different playability, and gets us back to your original question of how do I do what I do? And the simple answer is I've worked for an eclectic mix of rockers, some blues guys.
Well, let's talk about who you worked for. I know you've done setups for Bruce Kulick. I know you've done setups for Ace Frehley. I know you've done setups.
Well, I haven't done setups. I've worked with them.
You've worked with them.
Yeah. I was a young kid in the right place at the right time. Grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. My first gig was with a band called the Bobby Ingram Project. And that would eventually morph into what would become China Sky.
Okay.
I had already left, been kicked out, whatever you want to call it. And was back at that music store when I was coddled by a stage manager friend of mine that I knew through the store. He's like, "You know how to do keyboards?" I don't know a fucking thing about them. Man, I need a keyboard tech just to go out for 2 weeks. And I said, "For what?" He said, "Man, we're bringing out a keyboard player on the road with us, And I had worked, Tom Cover was in the Bobby Ingram Project, and he had an old CP3 and a Hammond B3 and DX7. This is back in the MIDI days, and everybody was linking fucking keyboards together and stealing voices and all this shit. Anyway, long story short, I ended up biting the bullet and went out as a keyboard tech for the Johnny Van Zant band. Back then it was just called Van Zant.
Right.
And that would start my career in this business. That led me to doing guitars for Robbie Gay, Eric Lundgren, Danny Klausman, all of the Van Zant band. The guy that hired me eventually would quit. And I kind of just got the nod to, okay, you're now doing what he does, on top of what you already do.
Right.
And then the 87 tribute tour came around. And, once again, right place at right time. Was out actually helping Gene Odom. You know who Gene Odom is,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was actually out helping him sell his book that he had wrote about the plane crash.
Oh, wow.
And we're at rehearsals at the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. And Big Lou, tour manager, comes out and he's talking with Gene and he says, "Hey, I need a guitar tech for Gary's band." And Gene looked over at me and said, "Well, that's what he does."
Rossington?
Huh? Yeah, well, band? Gary's band, Rossington,
right,
was the opening act for the whole tribute tour.
Okay.
Gary actually went out and did 2 freaking sets a night.
Wow.
He'd do a 90-minute set with his band and then a 2.5-hour set with Leonard Skinner. And Skinner had their tech, Mikey. Mikey's great guy. He'd been with them guys back in the day, all through everything, Rothen and Collins, Alan Collins' band. Mikey Sparks. He was the go-to guy. But he couldn't, he had enough shit to do with all of their shit,
Right.
Ed King, Gary, what's the other guy? Randall Hall was taking Alan's place. Leon
Right.
Leon's bass world was a freaking nightmare by itself.
I can imagine.
So Big Lou looked down and he said, "You're Johnny's guy, right?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "What are you doing out here?" Helping Gene something bucks. He said, "You can handle Gary's guitars." I said, "Of course I can." So that started it, dude. From 87 to 88, it was a blur. Biggest tour of that era, you know.
Yeah.
Went from the big amphitheaters into. So I got to, you know, talk and work with Ed King. I got to talk and work with Randall Hall. I got to talk and work with Leon. And I got to talk and help Mikey. Right. You know, and still do. And the Rossington band itself, Jay Johnson, son of the famous Swamper. Right. Jimmy Johnson's little boy, you know, he was Gary's other guitar player. Tim Lindsay, who is now, Tim Lindsay was in Time Clock, Jacksonville based band. Tim Lindsay's been with Molly Hatchet now for, I don't know how many years.
He's still with him?
Yeah, he's still with him.
That band, it changes constantly. There's always somebody new in the band.
Gary took really good care of me. Yeah. Gary was,
I know a few people that knew him, and everybody said he was a fucking great, like a great
dude
guy.
If you were on Gary's good side, you were golden. Yeah, he took care of his people. Some of those people got on the bad side, and it's the
that's
business. It's the business, dude. Business. Luckily, you know, they came back from the last major tour and went in to do another album. And Gary told me, he said, "Dude, I can't afford to bring you to the studio." And, you know, so, I was back home, and, that's when Bobby Ingram and Danny decided that they were going to run a whole new Molly Hatchet. And they were going to leave everybody else at home and go out and
do their thing,
do their thing with a bunch of local, you know, unheard of artists. Yeah. They did bring Rick Blands in, and he was part of the China Sky project with Bobby. So they heard, Bobby and Danny heard that I was, you know, available and called me, and so I started that thing off. And, you know, stage manager, road manager, guitar tech, truck driver.
It's way too many hats for one person. I'm sorry.
So, you know, you get back to what we were talking about. I've held some of the greatest guitars of our time. I've played some of the greatest guitars of our time. Am I a guitar player? I've started when I was 12 years old. I'm not a guitar player. I tinker around with playing. Right. I know enough. You know, you want to jam on some Skinner? Absolutely. You want to jam on some Van Zandt? Absolutely. I knew all that stuff because that was my job to know all that stuff. Right. I just learned that what each guitar felt. Every guitar, there's not one guitar, like you said, not one guitar out there is going to set up the same exact way, but they're pretty goddamn close. It depends on what you fret size.
I think that you find that guitar players, when purchasing guitars, there is a similarity. It doesn't matter whether it's a Strat or an SG or a Les Paul or a fucking. There is something similar about them all to the player. True. You know, there's some kind of a similarity to every one of my fucking guitars. Every one of them is set up with Blue Magic 52 to 10s. Every one. Doesn't matter what guitar it is, whether it's a Strat or a Les Paul or the Flying V. Every one of them, same brand of strings.
But each one of those has a different set of numbers to it.
Totally different set of numbers to it. Yeah.
Close,
but different.
But different.
Scale, neck scale, length, you know.
Scale length's a big thing. You know, tremolo systems, like you were just saying. What kind of bridge system are we looking at? Yeah. We're looking at a hardtail, non-locking tremolo, Floyd Rose Taylor, double locking. You know.
No tremolo. I want no tremolos.
I mean, you know, and people go, you know, damn, Brian, you're a lot higher on your double locking setup cost. And yeah, well, there's a lot more work there.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different shit that I don't have to do.
That's right. That's another animal.
Guitar. So, well, why is the non-locking tremolo cheaper? Well, there's one less fucking part I got to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I did all that, but you know, I remember Ed King's Penta Shore. And he played that on 87, 88 tribute tour. That was Floyd Rose, his favorite fucking guitar. And dude, Ed had some guitars. You know, he had a 53s and freaking shit at his arsenal, but he went back to that Penta.
Yeah, there was because there's
Randall was the
something
guy.
comfortable, man.
You know,
and then one guitar.
And then Gary had, you know, all the Gibson stuff.
I'm 99% sure that every guitar player has one single guitar that fits them like a fucking glove, and no other guitar
is like it.
Yeah. You know, and that's why I constantly go back to that 91 standard is that fuck keeps calling me.
You ever played a Washburn?
I have played a Washburn, yeah. I've had a couple of different. I had a Washburn. The problem with the Washburn that I had was it was a Nuno Betancourt, and
M4.
Yeah, and that's too much of a speed guitar for me.
It is. It's a fast neck.
It's a fast neck guitar, and I am I'm more of an angry meat and potatoes guitar player. Like I don't have the
dexterity.
Not the dexterity. It's the soft touch. Like when I watch guys like Eric Neal, when he does a solo and his fucking hands are moving a mile a minute, he's like barely touching strings.
Louis Khalil's the same way, dude. He amazes me. I'm like,
watching Malmsteen or any of these guys, their fucking hands are barely. It's a light touch on the string.
They're not even on it for a second. Yeah. It's like a nanosecond. They're just barely hitting that note.
I am the motherfucker that knocks every string out of tune all the time because I am meat and potatoes, just really hammering it out on it. And then even when it comes to soloing, when I learned to play, I did not use my pinky on my fretting hand, and so I have a dead pinky when I play, and it's
a big difference.
It's a huge difference.
I watched Louis play, and his freaking pink, you know, this finger seems to be this fucking long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I got small hands to begin with. But
I watch these guys, and they're able to
articulate
just
all
fucking move, and I can't.
And I can't do.
I can't do it. I'm a 3-finger guitar player, unless it's chording. You know, chords, that's muscle memory.
No, you got to kind of, yeah.
I know where to go. But as far as soloing, I don't have the delicateness that's required. And I attribute that to when I learned how to play. I was learning how to play church acoustic music with a church lady, and that you really, when you're playing an acoustic guitar, you just in a church. Yeah. You wanted to be heard.
And then along comes Randy Rhoads on an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, which is a whole other animal. Yeah. Which then I went out and bought a nylon string acoustic and realized that you still need a fucking.
There's a whole different monster right there. That's a whole different monster.
Yeah.
And I do those still.
Do you?
You know, I do nylon. I still tie strings. I mean, everybody's got these little new ball-in nylon things for sale.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a freaking nylon string. You tie that motherfucker.
Well, it's the same when they came out with 6-string banjos. Yeah. Fuck, a banjo does not have 6 strings. I'm sorry. You know, or
you got 8-string basses.
8-string basses, yeah. Or the
it's
guy
an octave bass.
The guy from ZZ Top.
I need one of those.
The new guy from ZZ Top, it's like 13 or 14.
Oh God, the double neck strings. With you know. That's funny.
No, one neck. That's all I need. One's enough. Any more than one neck is too much for me. I always did want like the SG double neck, like Pages, but it's so heavy. Why the fuck do I want something that heavy?
They are, and the Gibson series, they are. They're neck heavy because you got 2 fucking necks. But I tell you what, Antonio Bellet owns a Greco.
Oh.
Double neck.
And it's light?
That was made at Fujigen in Japan. And very similar. I mean, the electronics in the Greco blow the Gibson version away. But yeah, it's different. And I don't know if it's the trigger point, like we were talking about strap points.
Yeah.
But, and not to say it's not there, it's there, but it's different. And you can play the shit out of that 12-string side and play the shit out of that 6-string side with no problem.
Yeah.
And that's the stairway guitar.
That's the stairway to guitar.
And, yeah, if you're going to have a Zeppelin tribute band, you got to have it.
You have to have it. Have to have it. It's
if you don't,
there's a couple of tributes going on around now that the tribute market is such a weird fucking thing. You know, COVID, again, we go back to COVID. COVID created a stir of the cesspool, I should say.
No, you're right. It did.
Where guys had way too much time to sit home and think. And then they instantaneously, and I'm gonna, it sounds bad because I'm in a tribute band as well. But we're not trying to be the Black Crowes. We're tributing the music. Cause I'm never going to look like Chris Robinson, and I'm never shaving the fucking beard.
Chris Robinson, you need to grow a beard, bro.
Yeah. But I see these bands.
I don't want to skip the subject, but I was in Doraville, Studio A, when Chris and his brother were in Studio B, writing that first.
I would love to be able to sit down and have a fan conversation with Chris. I've spoken to Rich. I did a couple of shows with one of his side project bands in New York, and he's a pretty cool guy, but he's very quiet. Whereas Chris, on the other hand, is the mouth, but as a singer, man, I would love to sit down and talk to him.
Invite him on your show, dude.
I know, right?
Open invitation, Chris.
Yes, Chris, Mr. Robinson. I would love to there's learning to sing like him has opened up something in my chest cavity. I'm gonna say it's kind of weird. He does this thing where he is absolutely 100% confident in his ability to sing, that he doesn't care whether he cracks and doesn't care whether he is able to reach a point where his voice gives out, because it's all part of the performance of the song. It
was recorded that way, and he's going to mimic it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to learn it because I always hold back. I always hold a little bit of something back. I'm always afraid of pushing it too far because I want it to be good. And I'm afraid that if I try to experiment with things, that I'm going to take it to an extreme and it's going to sound pretty shitty. But singing the Black Crowes tunes and being able to go there and not, I don't know how to put that process in there. It's like a not thought. I'm like, instead of thinking, just sing, just let my body do the work. And
so it's a good fit for you.
Yeah. But now it's opening up this.
Dude, I told you the first time I saw you guys at the Tipsy Tiki, and I was like, holy shit.
That was I love Will Goulet at Tipsy Tiki. He loves Black Crowes, and as soon as I announced we were putting it together, he's the first person to email me and be like, dude, I want it. I want to be the first. And I'm like, you got it. It's all yours. And
y'all did good, man. And watching it grow.
It's so good now.
You got your guitar tech back there for Rob.
Tom is fucking awesome. You know what?
I love seeing tribute bands do that because that's what I was doing in the teens.
It's fucking important. So, Russ Kellum uses three different guitars with multiple tunings in order to pull off the Black Crowes stuff properly.
You have to.
And it's either you have an arsenal of guitars up there all set with different tunings, or you have to have somebody.
Dude, you're talking to the guitar tech for Inner Light of Led Zeppelin. I used to have 12 fucking guitars.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
two or three different
easy.
basses.
I'm easy.
We call
E
them
flat.
We call them spiritual
I'm good.
tunings. You know, Page did that shit.
Yes.
You know, Dad got it and all that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, that was just Page's thing.
But it was good for him to be able to experiment. I mean, Page's blueprint was blues, which is not a difficult, it's difficult to capture the feeling, not difficult to capture the art work of blues. But then he created something that was more unique and original out of it. And I don't think there has been anybody, you know,
do that.
It's like we say the same thing about Sabbath being, now that Ozzy is obviously on everybody's mind, is that that was a time when I think boredom forced innovation.
I take that back. Randy did something similar. Randy Rhoads had a classical.
Yeah.
Upbringing.
Well, if he'd have did,
so
supposedly
he kind of threw all that into the metal market.
Correct.
You know, where Page did the blues into the freaking.
Yeah. But you had the other guys. Yeah. You had, Richie Blackmore, you know, Deep Purple was more, I consider them more metal than I would consider them classic rock.
I gotta disagree with you there. Yeah, I think John Lord Hammond's take that out.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, you didn't have a heavy keyboard presence in metal.
Yeah, that's true.
It was kind of offset in the back. Van Zandt, I mean, you know, here we are on that tour, and the album all had keyboards, but you know, they didn't do it live on stage.
Oh, really?
It was a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, carrying out a whole keyboard rig and another guy and another tech.
I know.
Back then.
I know, but like I
mean, dude, when I got this gig, you know who they were opening for? Fucking Night Ranger.
Oh, wow.
I'm out getting thrown onto the Midnight Madness fucking tour, 20,000 feet sold out.
Brad Gillis is fucking massive monster guitar
holy
player.
Shit, this is how they do it, huh?
Yeah, well, when you
Brad Gillis, Jeff Watson.
Yeah, when you get out on a real tour and you get to see you get to see how everything is compartmentalized, and each little department of the compartment is running at most maximum efficiency.
Oh my God!
You know,
and today it's even.
First time I ever had a real monitor guy, like I separate from
you
from
wanted
that
every time.
I wanted to like marry the motherfucker. Like it was like, oh my God, that's what a monitor mix is supposed to sound like. You know, like I would have.
Thank you.
It was fucking incredible, and it was at the house of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We were just little regional band playing the decent sized clubs and venues around New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. But we got invited to play the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Smithereens, and it was our very first super setup.
Yeah.
And man, I was like, I have never ever experienced a wow moment like I did when I had my first real monitor guy.
Well, back then and even today, I mean, nowadays you're talking about IEMs, you know, clean stages,
right?
And that makes a huge difference in the house. You know,
I can't do a clean state, a silent stage.
It's like the last big thing I did was I took for Thunder Mother when they were opening up for the Scorpions a couple years ago, and the Scorpion stage there wasn't a monitor on stage.
Really? All in ears.
All in ears. Yeah. Even the techs are all in ears. The cabinets are coffined backstage. Bass rigs coffined backstage. The only thing that's live on that stage is fucking drums.
Wow.
And you want to talk about clarity?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You can have a conversation with each other on the stage, basically, yeah. See, I wouldn't know what to do with that. Because
and the guy in the house regulates everything. So, yeah, if you hey, buddy, you need to,
no, see, I need to feel my fucking amp behind me. I want to feel it. I want that amp within 10 feet of me.
Oh, you felt it.
Yeah.
The Scorpions, dude, they're still running analog board.
I just, it's so weird. Just before you called me, to come in, I was watching a video from like recently of the Scorpions, and it was bad. Like bad. Klaus.
Oh, Klaus,
looks like Joe Biden walking on stage.
Anniversary
I know. But
are you kidding me? How long are we going to go?
You got to stop at some point.
You got
That's
to.
I'm having a problem with all these back to the beginnings and it's a subject I'll get into. I'm going to get into with Ray tomorrow too, about the cash grabs. Whether Ozzy was not necessarily a cash grab because it was a $200 million to charity.
It was all donated. It was just a world.
But I'm watching a lot of these fucking guys. You know, it's just announced now that all of a sudden Stevie Nicks and fucking Lindsey Buckingham are gonna tour again.
Yeah.
Now, 3 years ago, they fired fucking Buckingham unceremoniously in the middle of a tour and got Mike Campbell in to cover him. But now, all of a sudden, because the end of the world, the end of the road tours are so financially...
Dude, Skinner's been on the farewell tour since 2016.
It's fucking crazy. You're going to have the Doobie Brothers 50th or something is coming around, which is going to put them...
And who's left in the band? I just heard... Who was it that just played, I think, Toto? I heard
some bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard there was a lot of disgruntled fucking
and that
people.
Sucks because I'm a huge Steve Lukather fan.
Yeah, Luther, he was one of the icons.
Yeah.
But he's one of our icon days. I mean, you put him up there with...
Yeah, but the same...
Some of the best.
Same thing. I just saw Yes is going to fucking go out and tour again, too.
Now they're like John 95. Anderson's out touring.
They're so fucking old. There is no way that it can... See, what's going to end up happening is, do you know when Steve Perry is going to rejoin Journey? When it's way past anybody's fucking prime. So what happens is all these... And I'll tell you where I got burned. It was... I grew up... my father was a huge Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young fan. And
as my father was.
And so did I became, because it's great music. And somewhere in... I'm going to say it had to be the 90s, somewhere in the mid 90s or something like that. It was one of their, on and off again reunion last tour type fucking things. And it was fucking horrible. Like it was painful to sit and listen to these old guys trying to do what they did 30 years ago. And now
40 years ago.
That sounds hard. It sounds bad, but at some point, I think what's happening is that a lot of these guys are starting to water down their legacies. Why do you think Robert Plant doesn't do a Led Zeppelin fucking reunion? Because he can't.
Yeah. He knows.
He can't sing it, so he knows. Yeah. Why would I go out and do it and sour my legacy? Like Robert Fripp is another one. He's fucking we're in the day and age of weird internet shit. And if Robert Fripp as King Crimson was one of the most famous fucking guitar players in Europe, and now he's doing weird ass videos with his fucking wife on TikTok. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What's happening?
Oh, the mental state of the world.
It's fucking gone, man. It's gone.
I mean, look around, dude.
It's gone to me.
I shake my head every day, and I can't believe I just saw that shit.
Value in the music is gone.
Nobody has any
attention
coos,
to
man.
Detail is gone.
Nobody has any coos at all.
No.
Let's throw it all out there.
It's a GoFundMe for everything.
Here's everything. I was like, damn,
Oh, I don't mind the tits.
I don't mind the tits, but I mean,
I'm like,
shit,
wow.
you're talking to a guy that used to wear a shirt that said, show me your tits,
Yeah, but you see...
And I got to see them.
This is what I do actually like about my algorithm when it goes perverted is now, the new trend now is... See, the girls on TikTok, they try to figure out how much they can how much nudity they can get away
with before they get shadow banned or whatever.
Yeah. And so now the new thing, first, last year or 2 years ago, it was a sundress. So, they would put a light behind them so that you could see that they weren't wearing underwear through a sundress. Now they're body painting shorts. So they're naked, except they body paint full shorts and do splits and all these other things to try to get guys to just keep watching a fucking video to see if they're going to see Taco or not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're making fucking bang.
What I want to know is who has time to sit there and fucking, I'm not a TikTok user, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not very social media savvy at all. And thanks to Indian River Entertainment for handling that part of it for me. Cause I'm not, dude. I loathe it. I loathe social media.
I hate it. I fucking hate it too. But the thing is,
but you gotta do it.
I learned
you gotta do it
back when MySpace was the thing that you have to. If you're an artist of any shape, way, shape, or form,
period.
Business now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big time. If you are a business and you don't have a social media presence, you
either got a hell of a clientele that's already established,
or you're throwing money out the window. Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't, because I get into these conversations with. I have a lot of friends that are into the back end side of AI and website building and all this other
crazy shit coming out there.
Listen, the whole thing is changing so goddamn fast that businesses can't keep up with the pace of the change, and it starts out as a lazy thing where, you know, I bring this up quite often when you say you go back to the 90s or the 2000s and people were still advertising in newspapers and magazines and radio stations. And so, you know, your venues had a Thursday night ad on whatever the popular radio station was, and it would tell you who's playing for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you got your information. Or, you know, where I grew up in New York, on Thursdays, if you got the Thursday newspaper,
flyer the parking lot.
Well, there was you had flyers, you had mailing lists, you had email lists, you had all these fucking ways that the artist was trying to reach the people. And then, and the same with the venue. And then you get to the internet age, the Facebook age, and the magazines. People don't buy a newspaper anymore. People don't buy a magazine anymore. People don't listen to the regular radio anymore. And what they did was the venue said, oh, okay, well, there's no magazine and no newspaper, no radio. Well, I'm just not going to advertise. Okay.
I don't need to advertise anymore.
And now I think Facebook is like 21 fucking years old or something or almost 20 years old.
You're talking to an AOL guy. So.
And there are businesses that still don't advertise.
I know.
And I'm like, there's no other way to fucking reach people. Why would you not can figure out a way to advertise? You know, word of mouth can only go so far. And it limits you because there are not enough people willing to share knowledge. So where you say, like on a Facebook, you're a fan of ShovelHed, but you're selfish about it because you don't want to share it with too many people because you enjoy it. That's the kind of nature of the way music has become. Mm-hmm. And of course, I just used ShovelHed as a hypothetical example. Music has just become so throwawayable in every aspect of life. So it makes it so much more harder for the artist or an entertainer or a songwriter or anybody to get to the product to give to a person, to the people,
to get out to, you know, get the product to the people.
It's hard. It's really fucking hard. And, you know, like you're a service that's fortunate that other musicians that rely on an expert will share that knowledge.
I have that word of mouth.
You do have that word.
And dude, that's probably my biggest advertisement tool.
Yeah.
And that's one reason that I simply can't afford to have.
I don't even know who fucking told me about you.
Well, you met me at the used to be the rehearsal hall, which is now my fucking. Is that
where
shop.
I met you? Did I meet you there at John?
I don't know. What are we?
I don't even fucking know. I don't. You know, it's like look. You're gonna laugh about this, but finding a good guitar tech is like moving to a new area and looking for the best fucking weed dealer. Like, it's seriously.
No,
you know, I moved here and there were a couple of things that were very specific that I needed to know. One, where do I get my weed from? 2, who's going to fix my guitars? You know, everything else is easy.
Important. Everything else is irrelevant.
Everything else is irrelevant. It really is. You know, because well, that's the other animal here too, is that you learn pretty quick here that your prized guitars, you don't bring them out as often as you should because of the weather.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking, I can't tell you how often I have to.
It's not worth it.
I have to emergency bring my gear into my house and dry things off because to be poured on me or some shit like that.
Shit happens, dude. That's why I've seen an explosion in the market of Chinese products.
Yeah.
You know, $200-$300 guitars.
Well, it's throwawayable.
And well,
like everything else in society,
and we upgrade them.
Oh, right.
You know, like
that's this one.
We did what? Your
my Gibson,
your gold top, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I did. I found I had a friend of mine.
I mean, John, right?
John Schneider. Yeah, from Preacher Stone. So he located a local guy that had that does the Gibsons. And I was fucking curious. I really was curious. Right. I'm like, why does this? Why did this guitar cost me $2,500 new when I bought it? And this guitar, which to the naked eye looks almost fucking almost identical. Mm-hmm. If you are not a guitar knowledgeable person, you are not going to know the difference. Now the Gibson, this is completely 100% made in China or right? China, or it says it's made in the USA.
No, it's made in China. Dude. That's made in China, shipped over here with crap electronics.
$350.
Yeah.
That's what this is, $350 as opposed to
God knows what the woods are. But you know what? They've gotten CNC technology has come along so much that everybody's building replicas of, and they're perfect replicas.
Oh, they're great replicas.
Because CNC technology has made it that way. They've mapped out a real 59.
This is actually a fucking great guitar. With the exception
and now you can replicate it.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Chinese have come a long way.
The Chinese have come
just like the Mexicans came a long way back when Mexico first started getting U.S. Japan had our ass in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, India now.
You know.
The Paul Reed Smiths, some of them are made in India. Some of them are in Indonesia.
Yeah.
I'd be curious really to find out how much of Gibson stuff is not made in the USA.
Well, put it this way, Fender's no longer making their necks. Musicraft is.
Oh.
I think,
all of them?
Oh, yeah. They ain't making no fucking necks. They're putting parts together in Corona now.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. Got a body. It's got a new neck.
Right.
We're going to load it with these electronics, put a little nut in there, some Fender locking tuners.
I think the vintage market.
I'd buy a Mexican these days before I bought anything from Corona.
Yeah. I had
had better in shape Mexicans come in my fucking
I had a fucking great Mexican Strat. Oh, a Tex-Mex. It was a Tex-Mex Strat, but it was fucking better than my American-made Strats. And
then you see the prices of what we were just talking about for U.S.
Well, see, that's another animal that becomes an issue for me is that brand recognition becomes, I don't know, embroiled, in the makeup of things. Now, I love having a Gibson. I love having the Gibson logo on my guitar or the Paul Reed Smith logo on my guitar, whereas opposed to getting like an ESP Les Paul.
You can't put ESP. ESP is a whole different ballgame.
It's a whole different ballgame.
There's some badass guitars.
It is, but it's not a Les Paul.
It's not a Les Paul, and it's not your type of neck. We just discussed that earlier. The ESP, I mean, that's Bruce Kulick right there.
That's cute, and it always has been. And here's a really weird fucking thing is that I hung out with Bruce and I hung out with John Karabi at the ESP booth in Anaheim one year when Union was just before the first Union album came out, and Bruce was trying to talk Karabi into becoming an ESP artist, and Karabi's all Gibson, like he's a hardcore Gibson guy. But I sat down and I played a couple of those Bruce Kulick ESPs, and that's another one of those. Those guitars are made with a streamlined, fast fucking neck.
But see, for me, that's the neck I like.
That's the neck you like, yeah.
If I had to pick and choose,
it's the ESPs.
And Bruce gave me an MH400.
Oh yeah.
Last year at Kiss Cancer Goodbye. Just because he was overwhelmed for the last 2 years, I had taken such great care of him and every artist that was there. And he was like, I want to do something for Brian. And he snuck it in on me. He had the promoter come get me. He's like, you got to bring Bruce this guitar. He's looking for this guitar. And I'm like, he's done playing. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. He just wants this guitar. You got to run it over to him. He's over there. I ran it over there, and guys following me. I'm like, what the fuck is this all about? Walked in the room. Bruce goes, is that the right one? And I'm looking back at the promoter. I'm going, dude, you told me to bring the AMH 400. He said, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Open it up. And he grabbed it and he handed it to me. He said, thank you. He said, it's yours.
Wow.
And I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, I'm going to sign it for you. Just do me a favor. Don't ever sell it.
Yeah, dude, you know how I met him?
It's going to go in my guitar shop on the wall. This is going to be a conversation.
Right. The very first time I met him, I was at I was watching, do you know what Rod Morgenstein is?
Yeah.
Drummer from Dixie Dregs and Winger. He was, it was around a NAMM show, and he was, Morgenstein his band was playing in the Marriott. And it was an invite only, and I happened to somehow snag a ticket to get in, and so I go in, and I'm standing there just watching. It was a small, private kind of hotel lounge thing, and I'm standing there. And I turn around to go get a beer, and behind me was Bruce and Bob. And it was like, and I'm being a huge Kiss fan, I was just like, Jesus, holy shit. And they were the nicest fucking guys.
Oh, man,
because they wanted,
Bruce
they loved the conversation. Like they weren't, for me, I was a starstruck, awestruck, holy shit, it's Bruce and Bob Kulick and blah, blah, blah. And man, autographs, they had pics. They were, gave me pics. They gave me autographs. Let me take a picture. They spent an hour having a conversation about,
you know what it is, dude? They're just like me.
Yeah, man.
They just had that life, and God blessed them with that career.
Yeah, but then if you sit and talk to Gene Simmons,
that's a whole different ballgame. That's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different level. Whole different level. I mean, Bruce is one of the most down to earth artists. Johnny Van Zandt. He's, God fearing man.
Yeah.
Grew up in that house. And Papa was always telling all of us about God, and it was a Christian belief type thing. And now I see Johnny doing it. And I mean, we're all kids. Yeah. I grew up in a Christian home. We went to church on
Me
Sundays,
too.
all that. But, and I, did the thing. But man, when I became saved, and now I see all the other people that have passed on that weren't, it makes you wonder. But I see all the other people that have caught on to it,
right,
and keep promoting it today without any worry about backlash from this, organization or that organization.
Yeah,
everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got a fucking asshole.
Everybody's got it.
Half you people out there can take your fucking opinions and shove them up your ass.
Yeah, but see, I disagree with you on that.
Okay,
for this one reason. Okay, it's because I'm a very opinionated person. And occasionally, I get into these spats with people that get fucking bent out of shape because I have an opinion. And
How dare you?
well, here's the sad part about it is that stop getting fucking bent out of shape over people's opinions that don't fucking affect you. Like,
it doesn't affect you.
If it doesn't affect you, just scroll on past it.
They can't do it, dude.
I'm a musician and I live in a musician world. So the things that I talk about necessarily don't have any relevance to the guy in the motorcycle world or the guy in the, the restaurant bar business or the good. Blah, blah, blah.
That's what social media has made it.
Everybody thinks that you're talking about them or they can relate to what you're going through.
And they have no clue.
They can see through your message or what it is that you really say. I'm like, fuck, how did everybody become a goddamn psychologist?
Oh, instantly, dude.
And have an opinion about your opinion. No, I don't give a fuck. When the social media thing all first came out, okay, the part of it that people forget is that your Facebook page, that's your Facebook page. Nobody else's. You have a right to say, speak, whatever the fuck you want on your Facebook page. So if somebody doesn't like it, they should just unfriend your fucking ass and not pay attention to you. That's what that button's
there for.
Rather than having to voice their opinion on your opinion and whose opinion is the best opinion and blah, 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 look at my vagina and like, come on, man. Grow a set of fucking balls. Just worry about you. Do you. And if you agree with somebody, great. If you don't agree with somebody, great. But just fucking move on.
Yeah.
The cops are over here being cops and talking to cops. The musicians are over here being musicians and talking to musicians.
I call them the internet police. They're out there just trying to, police the internet and
police everything. That's the world of today. Everything is set to piss people off rather than to unite people in any simple sense or say the way that you can.
It's gotten so bad for me that when I post on my personal page, I have a specific friends list that goes out.
See, I can't do it.
I had to
because I like to fight.
I don't have time for that. Dumbass, I got guitars to worry about.
Yeah, I know. when some dumbass said something, I love it. Like, yes, set me.
You
off,
like a
man,
challenge
because
here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, do it, man. It's the fucking Yankee New Yorker in me. That's it. Go ahead.
Go for it, pal. Yeah, but I can't do that. I don't have time for that.
That's society.
I barely have time. My people, Art just redid the website.
Right.
For me, and you guys help with the logo. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome. My pleasure.
And I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Me and him were the whole rollover thing for the website is, it went smoothly. There was a couple hiccups here and there, but I mean, there's so much into it. And I created the original website back in 2014 myself.
Yeah.
Through Vistaprint. But I mean, it gotten to where the last couple of years, I couldn't even manage that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hired Art to handle it all. And,
well, there is a,
and if I can post to my Insta once a day.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I try to keep the story thing going.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Listen, it's hard because, I run Facebook. To me it's a business. I'm not on it fucking playing around, goofing around. It's everything I
You're
post.
Using it as a tool.
Use it as a tool to market
your product,
my product. And you do, unless you're sinking big money into advertising on it, you have to be on it a lot.
Yeah.
And it all has to do with, we talk about the algorithm, the all powerful algorithm, which is now the Jesus Christ of the Facebook fucking world, social media world.
Right.
But it's
what drives
a real
everything,
fucking
dude.
thing. And there's hard data on how to use it, manipulate it, and make it work to your favor. That requires fiscal input. you can't do one without doing the other. You have to do them both in order to keep things in a
to keep up in the food chain.
Yeah, it's the he who, and it all depends on the amount of traffic too. So where you say a lot of people don't understand this when they get into their businesses or ban things. When you reach a certain amount of followers on a page, not on like your personal page, but on a business or a band page or any of those things, you reach a certain amount of followers, which is like a 10,000. When you reach the 10,000 mark, you're completely different within the algorithm of Facebook than the average. This is why we harp on, like myself, my friend Tommy, we harp on people to get their Facebook numbers up, their social media follower numbers up, because you're just beating yourself against the fence when you don't reach a level of followers. Because no matter what you do, no matter how much input, it's not going anywhere. Yeah. It's not reaching people. Even if you spend $30 or $40 or $50 on an ad, it's still not going to the people until you get to reach this point where Facebook, for instance, or Instagram, Meta, I should say, sees that your traffic is creating such
a draw.
Yeah. So
they're now interested.
Yeah. The way Facebook makes money is by how long you stay on Facebook. So the longer I can keep somebody on Facebook, the more I'm worth to Facebook. And so because what ends up happening there is that now they take the data and they're going to use that data to sell advertising to Coca-Cola and Budweiser and whoever the fuck else that they're going after. And they're going to say, okay, well, the average user stays on Facebook approximately 37 minutes a week, or well, how do you come up with that data? Well, if it's guys like me and bands like Tribute, guys out there spending hundreds of hours putting content up, and the girls now with their OnlyFans content and all this other stuff, they're generating a lot of money. There's a lot of money coming in. A lot of money. Right. Some of these girls are making 40 grand a week, 50 grand a week. And it's like, holy shit. It can't.
What did I do wrong?
It's not going to last forever. It's like anything
Will
else.
It?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
It can't. It's too short of an attention
I don't know,
span.
Man. Sex is sold for
but
a long fucking time, dude.
But it changes.
You got to morph with the.
You're not.
Got to roll with the changes.
You're not still finding those crusty fucking Playboys in your dad's, drawers.
Hey, wait a minute. I grew up. My dad was not the Playboy hider, man. We had a bookshelf, and he started buying in '66.
Did he? But he was reading the articles, right?
Yeah. He bought through, I want to say 84.
Wow. From 60s to 84?
66 to 84. He had every fucking.
They're worth a lot of money, some of them now.
Dude, that's all been gone. That was, I don't know.
My wife and I went to Antique Mall 2 weeks ago, and we passed some place.
He had them in chronological order on this, row after row after row after row. And he was always open with that. It was always there. So, he goes to kids like, check this out. Check this out.
Yeah, Florida, though, you can't even log into a porn site now unless you're age verified.
Yeah.
So what we're going to start experiencing is a lot more. I don't know. I think regulation is a weird way to talk.
That's what it comes down to.
But it comes down to it. It does. It has to come
to regulate this. Going to regulate that.
Well, it's got to come to a sort of a regulation that if I have kids, if I've got a 10-year-old, right, and the 10-year-old grabs my phone and goes on a Facebook page and now can see all of this content that should never have been there before.
I know, but here's the thing. You got a lock on your phone, right?
That's true. And the truth is,
you gotta be responsible. It's personal.
When we were that age, we were trying to stop in the middle of the screen from skinning them. Remember? So we were all trying to.
Yeah,
every fucking one. Was that a tick? Did I see a nipple? Holy shit!
Oh shit!
You know, but that was us in the days. We had a clubhouse in the fucking woods, and every kid stole a magazine from somebody's father or somebody somewhere, and there was a stash of porno magazines in the, in the clubhouse in the woods, or somebody had a VHS tape somewhere that was labeled as, Saturday Night Live, and it was really Debbie Does Dallas, and
the old VHS tape, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? That's not James Belushi. What the hell is?
Oh God, that's funny shit.
But I mean, look,
we grew up in a different time, dude. It was,
Yeah, but see, I don't think times.
And we made smarter decisions.
Did times change as fast then as they are now? I don't think so. I think technology's
today's is
way faster, right?
Way faster, dude.
Because
I was talking with a client about this the other day. Back when I was 18, a year seemed like forever.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking, you didn't plan out for a year. Now you're already booking 2 years in
advance now. Yeah.
And I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
That's how fast it's become.
Yeah. Well, see,
and you're gonna be booking 2 more years in advance after 2 years.
I don't want to get that far, man, because it
goes like this.
I want to
my birthday,
and have an end
it's
date.
Christmas, and it's fucking New Year's.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where did the year go?
You're right.
You're
right. Or Prime Day.
I did 425 guitars last year.
Wow.
I'm already over that this year.
Wow.
And we're not even just halfway through the year.
And you asked me for fucking more work.
I'm not asking anybody for work. I got plenty. I'm not advertising, although I do use it in the area of entertainment.
That's what I mean.
But, and not to say that I'm not taking on new clients, but if you're a new client, I make you understand up front.
Yeah.
Dude, I got 20, 30 guitars in front of you right now. If you just want to play this, I'm not your guy.
Right.
Take it down to this guy, take it over here to these people. There's a few people I recommend. There's a bunch I don't, but I'm not going to sit here and badmouth.
No, you can't.
It's just no sense in that shit. I've been blessed. People could have got on Facebook years ago and said, yeah, Brian Hill, that motherfucker, he's son of a bitch. He fucked my guitar up, And people say, how did you learn to do this? Dude, I fucked up more vintage guitars than you've ever played.
Yeah.
That's
the only way to learn.
I come from the old school. When that headstock was broke, we threw that motherfucker away.
Yeah.
58, 59, it's garbage. Now I'm fucking fixing that shit.
Yeah.
And bringing them back to life. And I got a lot of people to thank, man. Do we have time?
Yeah, of course you do.
All right. So, this whole thing of the whole guitar shop, I met this cat in the 90s up in, I believe it was, remember Hammer Jacks in Baltimore?
Yes.
One of the greatest stages ever. I met this cat back on the Van Zandt days. And, all these years later, he's on Facebook and I'm following him. I'm in a band called Plain Jane, and I'm like, damn, I remember them, Greg Platzer. He's a guy way beyond my expertise. Greg runs.
Yeah.
I mean, whole different ball game. Aerosmith, real Aerosmith. Bon Jovi, real Bon Jovi. He's done guitars for everybody. And, but he believed in me. And we had a long conversation one night. He said, man, you can do the same things I do. You just got to put your mind to it and believe in yourself.
Right.
And I took that hook, line, and sinker when middle of COVID, dude. We're all going to die. Everybody's wearing a mask. I can't come to your shop. Can you come by my house and pick up my guitar so I don't die?
Right.
And I get it. But, it was a whole different time, And Greg told me I could do it, and I took that hook, line, and sinker, and I just want to thank Greg Platzer Guitars, up in Mechanicsburg.
He pushed you.
Dude, he pushed it, and I can still call him today and say, hey man, something new's come in. What would Greg do?
Right.
He turned me on to so many people, Richard, at Corona Lake Pickups, Baton Rouge. I mean, dude, these things are catching on like fire.
Are they? Yeah.
And I've sold, I don't know, probably 10, 12 sets out of my shop.
Oh shit. Kind of like you're hooking everybody up with
once you hear these in your guitar,
Blue Magic.
I mean, put it this way, Bruce Kulick, he has used Seymour Duncan religiously.
Yeah.
For 40 plus years, hand wound by MJ in the back. Not your off the shelf Seymour Duncan. Right. Now, hey, I got a new pack of La Breas today. He heard the secret sauce, and he's decided to put that in his replica bananas.
Wow.
And, there's a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
So when guys of that caliber start stepping in, Peter Klett, Candlebox, he just got his first set.
That would be an Alexa, an Amazon delivery.
Is that what that is?
That's what that sounds like.
Thank you. Yeah, Peter Klett, Candlebox. I just posted that the other day. Yeah, they're catching on. One of our partners, Robert Butterworth, Blue Magic Music in Tampa.
Yeah.
The guy that turned me on to him, Sarge. There's your Amazon.
Yes, somebody. Hey, you, come on in.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm doing a podcast. Come on in.
Oh, I'm back.
No, you're good. You want to do outside first, and we'll wrap it up.
Oh,
give me 3 minutes. Literally 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's my exterminator.
Oh.
I forgot she called me last night to set up an appointment, but she'd been with this company for 43 years.
See, that's
43 years.
That's
one
unheard
company.
of for one person to
do
that.
And they sent me a message last month saying that I was going to get a new tech, and I'm like, no way. I called them up and I'm like, I don't want any other tech. Like, Sissy,
I trust her.
I cannot be here, and I will leave the house open for her and let her come in and do her job.
So you're old school. That's how
I'm an old school guy. I want face to face with everybody that I deal with. Like dealing with you, which is like the same thing. I mean, I could easily drop guitars off, through my bass player or somebody, but I want to deal with people face to face because it's the how can I refer you if I don't know you?
If you truly don't know.
If I truly don't know you, all I'm really doing is suggesting business, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your business. I think for me, the one-on-one is the way that I am able to understand people's, what's the word that I want to use? Their seriousness within their business. Because in this business, not everybody is fucking serious.
No.
There's a lot of
players.
There's a lot of players.
A lot of players, man.
And it's I need the one-on-one. I need the one-on-one interaction with the people that are my sound techs, that the people that are my repair shop guys. It's
people that are taking care of your shit.
It's like it's no different than going to a doctor, no different than going to the dentist, no different than you want to go to the people that make you feel the most comfortable and are doing the work for you. And that is, that's something that I think is lost in the fact that we allowed big business, big guitar centers, big Sam Ash's, all these other Home Depot size guitar places.
When Sam Ash was a single store in New York, and that was the tour
bus.
That was the tour bus stop,
I remember before Sam Ash went crazy, and same thing. It was New York,
House of Guitars, and
Rochester. I mean, we had a very small amount of big chain places, the important thing really is that that folks,
and who owns any of these companies?
Not anymore. They're not privately owned. They're all publicly
corporate
stock traded bullshit. Like that changed. I don't want to buy a guitar from a male. I want to sit down and play a guitar, and I miss the mom and pops of being able to go.
You still got Wolf guitars down in
There's
Jupiter.
Wolf. There are a couple of mom
Jensen
and
Beach
pops.
guitars. The guy just opened up Jensen Beach.
What I need you guys
he
to
don't have much, but it's a start.
it's a start.
And we need more people that are willing to start up those smaller businesses.
Yeah,
Because the corporate, it's a nightmare.
it's too much.
It's a fucking nightmare.
You guys need to bring your instruments to Bubble Up's Guitar Works in Stuart, Florida. This is Brian. He is the owner, operator, and the technician working on your instrument. And I can guarantee you, you are not going to find a better repair guy in our area, especially somebody who's going to take the time to tell you what needs to be done, what can be done, what can't be done, and the fair cost of how much it's going to cost you. It is not going to be the cheapest setup, but it's going to be the best. I can guarantee you that.
It's going to be the most thorough setup you've ever
No
had,
fucking doubt. No doubt. And again, we want you to use Blue Magic strings. That's the strings that he has turned most of us touring, busy working musicians out here in the Florida area into these strings. And I will tell you that I threw all my Ernie bowls away, which I've used now for 25 fucking years.
Everything else is crap.
Everything else is crap. My guitars never go out of tune. The strings last
at least four
fucking-
times.
at least-
At least 4 times.
way more than 4 times.
Well, at least.
At least,
I
if
mean,
not,
there's a whole bunch of variables. So
I can probably get a good 6 solid shows, 3 hours of each
Stretching
show.
the shit out
That's
of
3 hours each show, 6 shows in a row, constantly, and before my sweat really starts to really, create an issue. But the truth is I never really have to tune, and actually switching to locking tuners on fucking everything, I barely ever have to tune at all anymore.
Now the ratio tuners are fucking.
Yeah, and the
fucking
strings
shit.
sound fucking great. They feel great. They're, Robert was more than willing to work with a couple of us about custom gauge string sets, and and
He's open to a lot of things.
He's a
small
player's
business
player.
and he understands. He understands what our needs are.
Yeah,
He understands my shop. He understands, dude. And well, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have the people supporting me that I've got. I'm blessed to have the clientele base that I've created, and I thank God for it all, and I thank you people watching today too.
Thank you, homie.
All right, buddy.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Brian Hill, Bubble Up's Guitar Works. What's the phone number?
954-257-8906 by appointment only. Give me a call. Let's talk about what you need.
Absolutely. Trust me, you're going to get the best job at Brian's, at Bubble Up's. Why Bubble?
That's a whole nother story.
We'll get into
Actually,
that.
I tell you what, the new website,
Yeah.
www.bubbleupsguitarworks.com, has the Bubble Up story in it.
Okay.
You can go there and read all how that.
I'm gonna read it when you leave. I am, because I was gonna.
It's all there. So yeah,
I put that in my mental notes to ask you what the fuck.
/ Bubble Up story. You'll see it.
All right, Bubble Up's Guitar Works, y'all. Make sure that you bring your stuff down to Stuart, get it fixed. You won't find anyone in the area that does as thorough of a job as Brian does, and he does have a helper now too.
Beck.
Yeah, she's
Beck should be watching, and Beck, you got a job to do tomorrow. I expect to see you.
And listen, I am proud to know that you are training a female, and not for any other reason that I find that our industry is so male dominated that when I see a woman take interest in
it blew my mind that a woman.
I was so happy to see that, dude.
But here's the fact of the matter. You know how the Plek machine came to be? The female luthier that Jay had working in the back, it wasn't even a part of Wolf Guitars.
Huh.
It was her machine. She bought it.
Oh, wow.
And she passed it on to Jay.
Nice.
But
get to Brian.
Females can do anything, man.
We love you guys. Thank you for watching the ShovelHed podcast. Tomorrow, Ray West is going to join me on a special edition podcast at noon. We're going to just discuss Ozzy, and more Ozzy. That's tomorrow.
Rest in peace.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, dude.
Yeah, bud. Thanks.
All those dirty, dirty secrets.